Alright, I had an interesting situation on the road during my commute today. And I thought it's a great analogy for what it's like to be solosexual or to have a difference in religion than a lot of your colleagues. So I drive a Kia Forte, but because I live with roommates, as you guys have seen in my other videos, I use my car almost like my storage closet. And it's fine with me. The problem is that on the road, I can't very easily make sharp turns or speed up or slow down very quickly. And as I was making this turn earlier, I couldn't just make that sharp turn. And so I couldn't cut in front of an oncoming car this way. So I decided to stop. And the car behind me just honked nonstop at me for that. And I opened the window and I gave him my favorite gesture. And you know, I find that this kind of gesture will really make people reflect on themselves. Maybe that wasn't the best thing to do. I could kind of see in his face, he reflected on himself. He was probably expecting this, and he got that. Okay, now how does this relate to me being solosexual? Well, the average driver probably doesn't have the problem of having too much stuff in their car, right? They can make sharp turns or whatever the situation. I don't like those turns anyhow, whether or not I have stuff in my car. It's probably not good for the health of the car, and it just feels very, I'm not a thrill seeker. So whatever the situation is. But most people cannot relate to the idea of their car being their closet, right? Most people who haven't lived in their car at some point in their life, right? So when I go to the office and people see that I want a certain day off to do something by myself, even on Valentine's Day, I got a little bit of flack over that. Or they see that I refuse various foods due to some issue, or that maybe loud environments are not for me, and they don't see it as a priority, right? Just like the driver on the road didn't see the idea of not making very sharp acceleration a big priority, right? So, in other words, if I don't get my vacation time, it's not the end of the world, right? And meanwhile, my colleagues are taking off time to go to Disney World with their family, take Valentine's Day off. Now, where it really bugs me is people don't even want to listen to it, right? So I work at a tutoring center, and what was really upsetting on Valentine's Day is that, as you can imagine, it's a slow day to begin with. I had students from, I think 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., and my boss has the audacity to schedule somebody from 7 to 8 p.m., and I talked about this in other videos. The center is at a very awkward geographical location, and I can't really go anywhere during that 1 hour. None of my favorite restaurants that have suitable food for me are nearby. I can't obviously go home. I probably couldn't even make that round trip back home, even if I wanted to. And not to mention, it'd be a huge waste of gas, right? There's not much I could do there. And so I email my boss saying, can we reschedule this kid for some other time? Now, I know that kid personally. I know he would be very okay with it. And the reason I know is because a couple weeks before Valentine's Day, he broke up with his girlfriend. And I talked him into spending time going on a date by himself. And it took a little bit of pushing, but he eventually liked it. So I knew that if he even got to listen to the idea that I wanted to go out on Valentine's Day, he would be all for it. Unfortunately, my boss just doesn't want to ask for whatever bizarre reason. It took a lot of pushing to get him to ask. I think my boss wanted it to be me pressuring him to ask so that it would feel like I owe him a favor now, right? If he asks and he gets it, I don't owe him anything, right? Unfortunately, office politics can be really awkward. Anyway, my situation with my car today really showed that people really need to be open-minded and live in somebody else's shoes from time to time.